Erica, I think you've outdone yourself on this quilt, and this is your own personal design, isn't it?
It is, and I just love it. I wanted to come up with a design that's whimsical and fun for just quilters. And so this is what I came up with. It's called Quilters Whine a Lot. And so I tried to make everything coincide with the term of Quilters Whine a Lot. So there's 8 different bottles of wine, and they all have different names on them and wine sayings. And so, like, for example, the mystery quilt up at the top, you got Quilt Guild, Row by Row, Seam Ripper, Shop Hop, Road Trip, and then they all have their own little saying. So, like on mystery quilt, it says making spirits bright.
Oh,
And
I like
so
that.
and it's fun, and it's actually been a very popular quilt. And of course, the block that I chose to go with this quilt is the Drunkard's Path.
Which is a very old and very popular quilt pattern, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, it is. Yep.
What about the grape clusters?
The
in
grapes
the
is
corners?
just machine applique, and on my Unseen Hands Facebook page, I do have a little video of how I put that together.
Oh, okay.
So,
And so what is that? Unseen Hands?
and my Facebook page is just Unseen Hands.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And they can find the instructions
Yep,
for that.
go under the videos,
Okay.
and that'll show up on there.
Well, that is so cute, and I love the colors. They're just bright and happy and cheerful.
I love it. I think it's fun.
But it does look like a little work, and so you've taken all the work part out of it, and
Right,
you have
so
the
I had
design.
never actually made the Drunkard's Path before, so I was doing a little research on how to do it the quickest way. And plus, I do not have a curved foot for my sewing machine.
Oh, okay.
And so
many people may not.
And they may not, I don't know. But I wanted to find, because I like to do things quick. And so this is the way that what I'm going to show you is how it reads in the instructions in the pattern of how to make this.
Okay.
And I'm a visual person, so I always think that it's easier just to show it.
I do too.
So the material listed that you need for it is you need a 7-inch square of fabric, which is for your background. And then you need a 5-inch square of fabric for the circle part. And then this is just some interfacing.
Fusible.
Yeah, fusible interfacing.
Okay.
And so you want to get like an old CD. First, we're going to make a template. But whenever you're at this part, you want to cut out a bunch of, I don't remember the amount that's needed, but just take an old CD that you don't use and then just keep tracing a bunch of circles. And then what you're going to do is just fussy cut the circle out at least a quarter of an inch away from the line that you drew.
But you don't have to sit and measure a quarter of an inch. You just eyeball it.
Yeah, you just fussy cut it. So the template, what you need is a 7-inch square of fabric. And with that said, since this is a circle that we're using, then we're going to go ahead and use it on the inside. So once you find your center by making diagonal lines.
This is just
going
cardboard.
through, this is just cardboard,
Okay.
yep. Then you're going to lay the CD in the center. And I did kind of measure this out a little bit in the center so that I know that this is nice and accurate. And then I circled or drew around the circle. And then you want to cut that circle out and just throw it away. So the end result that you want is this right here.
Okay.
So this is your template. So once you get all of your 5-inch squares and your fusible interfacing, you're going to, with the
Fusible
adhesive side, yeah, you want it on the right side of the fabric.
Oh, okay.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your sewing machine, and so on that line, okay, then you are going, so
Just
this
a regular straight stitch, nothing fancy.
exactly, yeah. And I kind of use the same thread color. So this is what it looks like after you've done then you want to cut around the quarter inch, knock the corners off basically to where you have this.
Eliminate some of the bulk.
Right.
Okay.
And then you want to do like a quarter of an inch, just clip the edges all the way around it, because then you're going to take this and fold it inside out.
And you just made a kind of a cross.
Yeah,
slit
you just want to lift up the fusible part and just make a little snip in it to turn it inside out. You don't want to cut the fabric.
No.
So I kind of did that ahead of time. And then once you turn it inside out, this is what you're looking at.
And you don't have, well, you could press it at the ironing board, but you just mostly finger press it.
I
Is that
finger
right?
press it here. You don't want to press it because it's adhesive.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Makes
so,
sense.
and then after you get it turned inside out and do your finger pressing along the edges of it, then you're going to take this and then cut your quarter of an inch again. And it just seems like a lot of steps, but this is actually the easiest way to do it that I have found. Okay, and then we're going to take our 7-inch square of fabric. Take your template,
Oh,
lay it down on there, and then you're going to take your iron and then just kind of press that a little bit. So
that's why you did this on the fusible.
right,
So it
and that way
holds
you
it.
can, and then just press it down so that it will not come off. Okay.
And it's a dry iron, pretty hot.
Yeah,
And,
and I think I even use steam.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
that's
so,
good to know.
yeah, once you have it ironed down, then you want to do a quick blanket stitch around it.
Oh, okay.
Then you're going to cut out the back
Just the same
oh,
way.
Actually, what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in quarters. So this is a 7.5 inch. So you go 3.5 inches, cut 4 so that you're looking at something
Oh,
like
you're
this.
cutting that whole square.
You're cutting
into
the whole
4.
square. So this is actually the block itself.
Okay.
And once you cut them out, now you have this fabric over here that you want to cut out just along the rim,
Oh, okay.
because you don't want all of that bulk in your quilt. And then that's your final.
Okay.
All right. So then you will go ahead and just start laying out the blocks the way that you want them. And they are supposed to look a little off because it is the drunkard's path.
I see.
Okay. So
Thus where the name came
right.
from.
So
Okay.
here's the deal. I'm all about being quick and everything.
Yes, I know you
Now
are.
this is the way that I learned to do this quilt, and that's how the instructions read. And I'm thinking the only reason that I would ever do this again is that if I did not want a raw edge. But if you don't mind having a raw edge, what you could do is do the template still, and then get some your circle. Just cut out
Your
your fabric
fabrics.
circles, and then put some adhesive spray on the back of it,
Oh,
and then
okay.
center it in there, and then blanket stitch around it, and avoid all the other. But that was hindsight.
So would you use like a satin stitch around the edge?
I use a blanket stitch.
Oh, blanket
Yep,
stitch.
with my sewing machine.
And that's similar. I mean, it's
yeah,
stitches
it doesn't.
together.
Yep, whatever your preference is.
Oh, that would eliminate several steps,
It
wouldn't it?
would.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, thank you so much for showing us how and to show us one of your favorite quilts that sells really well
Yes,
off
it
your
does.
website. What is your overall website?
The website is www.unseenhands.net.
Unseenhands.net.
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much, Eric. I
Thank you
appreciate
so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.